Okay, recording. Okay, this is what happens. I have to check my phone to see what day it is. November 20th. Oh my God. Okay, 2 days. What is today? Tuesday. We are 2 days away from Thanksgiving, and we are like barely 5 weeks from the end of the year. Hey, Amber. Hi.
Hi. Sorry.
That's okay. First, I want to welcome Amy, who is the newest coach on our team. She and I connected randomly through kind of a friend 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 of a friend. And she was a coach before and got back engaged with our challenge group and realized how awesome we were and decided that she wanted to give a shot again, basically, because she loved our team so much. So I'm really, really, really excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Anytime, all the time, as much as you want to be a part of the team, you're so welcome. So tonight, what I want to talk about, well, actually first, before we do that, let's go over our goals. So Amy, like I said on our call this weekend, what we do is everybody has 3 goals that they talk about, that they set for the week. And then we review the goals, from last week, set new goals, and then work on those. So let me find my notes from last week. Okay, Amber, you're at the top of the list. So last week your goals were to be more consistent with more business posts, sign a discount coach, and pick out a program.
Well, I have been a lot more consistent with my posting. I am going to keep that as a goal. That seems to be, if I fall off the wagon, that's usually where it happens. So I think that's going to be my number 1 goal every week from here on out, is just to maintain that consistency. I've been doing a little bit more business posting, a lot more on my Instagram than anywhere else. I'm really kind of feeling like Instagram is home for me. So I'm not that I'm not focusing on Facebook, but my business stuff tends to be more on my Instagram. I did not sign any coaches this week. I've got a couple people that are kind of like, it's right before the holidays. I'm spending all of my extra money on that. But they're like all about New Year's resolutions. So, that this might just be breadcrumbing and kind of setting foundations. And then hopefully January will be a good month. I finally tried yoga yesterday. And it was a horrible disaster. So when we originally discussed me doing yoga, it was when I had my concussion, and we were kind of going under the premise that it was a nice light activity that wasn't too much brain, power. But now I didn't even think about, like, with my shoulder injury, I'm taking it easy because I can't really do a lot of things with my shoulder. And about 3 moves in, I was like down on the floor in cow's pose and about died. So I immediately turned that program off and switched over to Country Heat. And I just basically did my whole Country Heat workout. And if it required lifting my arm up above like shoulder height, then I just did it with one arm. But I did it.
Good.
I did it. Also, my personal goal for this week, because my business goals are pretty much the same, be consistent and do my 4 vitals. My personal goal is not to let my shoulder be an excuse to not get my exercise in, because yes, my shoulder is injured, but I walk with my legs. Not with my arms.
This is true.
So even if I can't do I got hung up on not being able to do Lift 4, which was like my favorite freaking program. And then my second favorite is Quarter Force, which I can't do either because I can't punch. So I got hung up on that, and I let myself get really depressed over it. And then actually my brother is to thank for this. He was like, go for a freaking walk, you idiot. Like, go for a jog. Your legs aren't broken. And he kind of like slapped me around a little bit and kind of got me back focused. So I'll be doing walks / jogs plus country heat until I get cleared for my shoulder. So.
Awesome. Good goals. Very good goals. Okay. Next, Christina. Your goals were to earn a paycheck, to connect with more people, and to finish Lift 4. How did you do?
I signed up someone as a customer. She's going to start with 21 Day Fix, but she's switching over to a coach, and like I know like I could get her to work the business, and she said that her sister is like interested too or whatever doing it, so like that's good too. So like I guess and then someone else told me that they're gonna do was it Clean Week? I think it was Clean Week that they were gonna do it tomorrow. So I'm getting there, and I'm still doing Lift 4. So
awesome, you're finishing up. Okay, and what about connecting with people?
Yeah, I've been like talking to more people about it and just like throwing it out there and all that.
Okay. What about new goals for this week?
Okay, so since like now I quit my job because like my stomach and all that, and I'm home, like my boyfriend gets it that like it's not my fault and all that stuff, but then like obviously everyone thinks like you have to work, like you're so young, but I can't help it like if I'm sick. So I need to like really work this to prove to them like I'm home, but I'm still getting paid because honestly, like once people are getting paid, no one's gonna say nothing. Like it's not like it's illegal money or whatever. So for next month, I'm only doing it for the challenge group that people are doing Shakeology, or like they're following a program on demand, but they have to be following a program like and paying, because like I'm telling them like, listen, like I want serious people, like I'm not being serious, so I need serious people, like you need serious people, whatever. And I did that yesterday, and someone was like, you know what, fine, let's do it, like whatever. So someone else is like supposed to sign up, so like I'm being more aggressive too. But that being I put a list of like 15 names, so I guess like Success Club 15, which is like a crazy number, but honestly like now it's clicking in my head, whereas before like this is my business, like this is like actual money, like this is serious. And like I said, once the money's like coming in, like no one's gonna say nothing, like I'm like, fine, you could stay home, like because before like I even quit the other job, my mom's like, oh well, why don't you do this? I'm like, can I breathe first? Like they're trying to push me for something else. And like my boyfriend's like kind of freaking out because he's with the union, so his job's like on and off, and it's like now that I'm not working, so he's like, well, we both have to work, so it's like I need to like really prove that like we'll be fine, because even if he's not working, like we'll still be fine. So I need to like I guess.
Awesome. What about a personal goal?
Could I say something real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christina, not that it should care, because it doesn't really matter what people think about what you're doing. And when you can free your mind of worrying about what other people are worrying about you doing, it'll blow your freaking mind how freeing that is. But to get them off your back a little bit, since you're home, you don't have kids, right?
No.
Okay. So it might help you out if you set business hours, even if you don't follow them to a T during your day, like just write up a super broad strokes, like I work on my business from this time to this time on these days of the week. And it kind of gives people more structure, which helps them kind of put this into this is a job category. And it also might help them from not messing with you while you're trying to focus, especially since you're trying to like crack down and really, really dive headfirst into the business. But people, for some reason, and I did interior decorating when I was younger, and through an MLM company way back when MLMs weren't the rage. And that was the hardest part that my family had, was they couldn't view it as a job because it didn't fit the traditional, you know, molds that jobs, you know, fit in, that you have to work from these hours to these hours, and that you've got, you know, goals and deadlines and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did with them. And I didn't necessarily follow it to a T. But, you know, I told them, like, from this time to this time is my client's time, and I am working on setting things up for them, and I'm making phone calls, and I'm answering emails, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And when they can see that, and they actually see that you're doing the work, then they kind of associate it more with an actual real thing, you know, real career, rather than just some, like, you know, fad flingy thing that you're doing on top of your workouts.
And I tell them, and my mom, like, does see it or whatever, but she's like, oh, good, whatever. But, like, she doesn't get, like, how serious we are.
Yeah.
But she's the one who, when I said to her today, like, oh, my legs are so bad, like, I don't know, should I work out, should I? And she's like, yeah, modify. So I was like, all right, good, like, because I did want to work out, I have my clothes picked out, but, like, my legs are literally burning right now, my knees.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, good call. She's like, yeah, I know my stuff. Like, so it's like she knows, and she sees, like, she knows I'm down here right now. Like, I don't know, but she will see.
And that's the other thing, just prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Make that part of your determination and let that light your fire. Because I hate when people tell me I can't do something. I'll be like, watch, I'll do it with spades. Maybe that's what you should do with me, Alana. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, squiggles. Okay. Sorry, Christine, I didn't get what your personal goal was.
Okay, so I started listening to Kick-Ass with Mel Robbins. And, like, if you didn't listen to it yet, basically, like, the people, they just say whatever, and she makes them realize, like, why they do those things. But they realize it, and it's like, what the hell, whatever. So I realized that, like, I'm, like, 99% sure that I'm using being on the prednisone as an excuse why I'm eating bad. Like, because I know that, like, once I'm off it, like, I could easily go all day without eating nothing, like, no problem. And it won't even bother me. My boyfriend's like an animal starving, and I'm like, no, like, I'm good. I don't have to eat anything today. So it's like I'm taking advantage, and then I'm complaining about it, but it's like I'm doing it. And I was like, oh my God.
And so what is your goal? Just to recognize that and just do your normal thing and just kind of ignore it, or?
No, I'm gonna try to take myself, like, more seriously, but like if I'm not gonna lie, I love ice cream. And, like, ice cream, cupcakes, like, desserts, like, I am in there. I'm not gonna lie. Cheesecake, I can't. Sorry. But, like, when it comes to, like, snack-wise, like, instead of, like, an Oreo or Cheez-Its, like, I need to go to my stuff and, like, the healthier stuff. So, like, the desserts, like, I could have, but not be a savage, and then have, like, the good food. That's gonna be my plan.
Awesome.
So it's gonna be, like, a little leeway, because, like I said, like, tomorrow I go down to 30 milligrams, so it's like I'm getting there. And then, like, Transform 20 is coming out, so, like, and then that's when I'll finish Lift 4, so I'll go into that.
Next, in January. Are you starting Lift 4 again?
Well, I'm in the middle of it. I'm in week 2, day 2.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I like just in time.
Got it. Okay, great. Amy, do you want to share your 2 business goals, 1 personal goal for the week?
For next week?
Yeah. So we go from Tuesday to Monday. Okay. So pick 2 business goals, 1 personal goal, just that you're going to work on this week.
Reach out to more people.
Okay.
Which I have been doing, by the way. So that's pretty cool. And be consistent with my posting. I know it's easy because it's only been like the first week, but I know as the weeks go on, it's going to get harder for me to be consistent with it. So, because right now I'm all like, yay, gung ho, and it's not going to stay that way, and I know that. So that's going to be a goal.
Great.
So,
And then what about something in your personal life?
finish lift 4.
Okay.
I'm on week 7.
Awesome. Okay. So mine are, yes, Amber, yes. Okay, so my goals for last week were to invite 35 people to my paid group for next month, which I did not hit that. I did 17, but that's still good, but that was not my goal. The second one, what even was that? Sign a business building coach. I did that. And then be in bed by 9:30 3 nights last week, which I did. And you guys, I had a revelation, which is I do not get enough sleep, which my sweet husband has been telling me that for like 2 years. Shh. But I need to go to bed earlier because I slept like a normal human amount 3 nights this week. And when I slept enough, I didn't crave all of the sugary, snacky things. And I felt great. And I was not like constantly thinking about food. And then the last 2 nights, I haven't slept as much as I should. And then here we go. I was like, oh, what about this snack and this snack and this snack? And when is my next meal? And when can I eat again? So I have to go to bed earlier. So I'm keeping that goal. So my 3 goals are, invite everybody who I currently have in Tony's challenge group to so there's actually a Black Friday flash sale on, that Melissa has in an event. And I think Amy, I don't think that you have accepted your invitation to Team Destination U yet. Have you?
Is that the one where I had to fill out the questionnaire?
Yeah. Did you fill it out?
They've never gotten back to me.
Okay. I'll let Melissa know.
Okay.
You might've missed a question. Possibly. I don't know. I'll check with her and see. Okay. No. Okay. I'll check and see.
Okay.
Okay. So Friday, let's see, I think it might be open. It's open now because it's just an event versus a group. But it's going to be, there's like Beachbody's doing like a Black Friday sale on a bunch of stuff. So like loops and sliders and Energize is going to be on sale. So all of these like kind of like, there's a bunch of stuff that's going to be on sale. So I'm going to invite everybody in the challenge group to that to see if there's anything anybody's interested in. My goal to finish off the month is Success Club 10. And then my personal goal is in bed by 9:30, again, 3 nights this week. So those are my goals. Okay, awesome. So what I want to talk about tonight is, and this always goes a little bit longer than I want to. So I'll try and get all of this in here. So I was going to just talk about one thing, but I'm going to kind of expand it a little bit. So I want to talk about success in general and touch on 3 parts of that. So I think it's really important that everybody has an idea of what your own success looks like in life, in this business, and really focus on what does it look like to you? Because as coaches, we look at all of these other people and coaches, and we see everybody and we see what everybody's doing and we compare everybody, and it's really hard because sometimes we think we have our blinders on and really we're kind of looking around at everybody, and then we start internalizing what everybody else is doing, and we start thinking that, well, maybe I should be setting a goal for what that person's doing, or maybe maybe if I looked like that person, or I was doing what that person was doing, or I was where that person is in their business, maybe that's what my success should be. So we really need to get clear on what our own success is, because it's very personal to everybody. I was listening to episode 4 of Your Push Coach, which is Josh Coates' podcast, which is brand new. So episode 4 is the most recent one. And he was talking about like he was talking about setting, like getting really clear on your own vision for your life, like basically like your life vision. So your vision is really a lot like your why. So like, why are you doing this? What is it about your, like, where do you see yourself in, 5, 10, 15 years? What success do you envision yourself? Where do you see yourself with your business? And be really specific about what your vision is for your own success, like what that looks like, what you do, what your ideal day is. He was talking about actually another podcast. Lewis Howes is a inspirational speaker. He's got a podcast, but he and he's good. I've listened to him too. I think his podcast is called I don't remember. Anyway, Lewis Howes is the guy's name. But for you to basically sit down, and I've done this kind of like I found this like guided meditation that I used to listen to in the morning. And it's like, you think about like, what is your perfect day? Like, even if it can't possibly happen today, like what would be your most ideal day? Like you wake up, and the sun is shining and the birds are singing, and you walk into your, beautiful bathroom that you've just renovated, and you think about like exactly what it looks like, and like what kind of towels you have, and what the view is, and you go into your kitchen that's like, it looks a certain way. So like, these are things in my head because I'd love to like renovate these 2 rooms in my house. And then, you have breakfast with your family, and it's a, great day, and you get Garrett off to school, and, because he's maybe older, and you sit down and you have an office that you love, and you're working from home because you're a full-time, it's like you do all these things, and you literally walk through your day and you think about all these what would your ideal perfect day be? And you get really kind of clear on what would that look like. And then you kind of expand that to think what would need to happen in my life to make that happen? And what would be a success in my life to have that happen? So that's kind of like, it kind of ties into your why. So like, why do you want to do that? Like, I want to be home more. I want to be able to, contribute more financially to my family, whatever it happens to be. And so you think about, why is that so important to you? What would you be able to do? And then the next part of it that I don't think we've talked a lot about is, what is your mission with this business? Like for me, so the way that Josh Coates explained it, so like he's a coach, he's like a life coach. So he said, when he sees people who are so passionate about something, but they are not fulfilling their own ability to just do amazing things, and they are not allowing themselves to really excel and shine and do all of these things that they're totally capable of, and they're holding themselves back, like that, like basically rips his heart out. Like he wants every single person to essentially like be as awesome as he knows they can be. And he's a life coach, and he's gone through the John Maxwell School of Leadership, and so that's like his job, is he helps people define and figure out how to do these incredible things that they want to do. And for me, it makes me so sad to see people who feel like they're just defeated because of how they feel and how they look. And, they think that, they can't, they'll never be able to lose weight, or like they're not self-confident enough. They don't, basically when people get down on themselves for how they look and how they feel and things that have happened to them, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to help people, like specifically moms, because I'm a mom and I know how that feels. But help people become, feel better about themselves, love themselves more, become more confident, and find that inside of them to do that for themselves. So like, that's my mission. And I think it's really important that we all need to figure out what that mission is, because at the end of the day, like that's what drives us toward our vision and the life that we, are wanting to create. And then that kind of leads us to the last part of what I really wanted to talk about, which is like, what is stopping us? And I've had this conversation with a couple of us, which is this fear of success. And it's kind of a funny thing because I feel it. I know Amber, you and I have talked about this, and Amy, you and I have talked about this, and it's a real thing. Like, I think, Amber, Brooke Castillo mentioned it on it might've been later on, because when I originally started listening to that podcast, like I kind of jumped in the middle, but she talked about, like being afraid of being successful. And it's actually like a legitimate thing, because if you think about it, and this actually came up for me, when I first hit Diamond, and I was in this like Diamond push group, with basically like a ton of the top coaches in the company, like Amy Silverman, Raina Odell, Patrick Reelman, Haley Christian was in there. What's his name? Keith Callahan. Like they were like the presenters in this group. And, one of the things was like, they were talking about what is holding you back. And I kind of like, I realized like, if I pull this off, if I do this was my mindset at the time. Like, what happens if I do this and I'm able to, do this full time, and then I fail? Then what's going to happen? Like, I won't, like, it'll be, I'll just, what is going to happen? Like, being responsible for my own, like, income is scary, because when you go to a job every day, like, you go to your job and that's secure. And, you know that you go there, you do your job, you're getting a paycheck. But when you essentially, I mean, it kind of, it ties into like more like the sales type career, is you are really responsible for what you bring in and what you, the success that you have. And so what happens when you don't meet your goals and you are not successful? Like, and that's scary. That's a scary thing to think about. So, and I guess like part of me still hasn't totally, gotten this figured out. So like, I'm still in the same boat as all the rest of us who are, potentially afraid of success. But some of the things that have helped me, of course, like personal development, like all the podcasts, all the books. And then the next best thing that you can be doing is learning the skill sets. Let me read you a quote from this morning, from episode 3 of Josh Coates. Okay. So he said, so every time you plan, okay, this has to do with you, putting in the work and being able to say that it doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter what my skill set is. I'm just as capable as any other human on this planet of achieving the success. And here's why. Okay. Every time you plant an orange seed, you get an orange tree. And it doesn't matter if you are beautiful or if you are ugly or if you are rich or if you are poor or talented or not. If you plant an orange tree in the ground and you water and care for it, you're going to get oranges off of it. You're not going to get bananas. You're not going to get avocados, because that's not how it works. But you have to give it. Huh? So it depends on your hardiness. Oh, okay. Next, like, it depends on your hardiness zone. You may not get oranges. Okay. But you have to give it the right amount of time. You have to make sure that you give it time to mature and develop and bear fruit. And you're not just going to go 3 weeks after you plant it and be like, oh my God, this doesn't work, and just like dig it up. Because if you water it and you wait for it long enough, and you do all the things you're supposed to do, which, like, for us in this business is being consistent, doing the behaviors that we're supposed to be doing, you will have success if you do the things and you teach yourself the skills. When you plant that seed, and you water it and you wait for it, it will bear fruit. And so if you're feeling like you're not having the success that you want, you have to ask yourself, am I doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing? You know, am I watering it? Am I fertilizing it? Am I reaching out to all the people? Am I inviting people? Am I being a product of the product? And am I applying myself and learning new skills that can help me? And then are you waiting long enough? And I don't mean waiting like sitting around and just watching it happen and waiting for something to come to you. Like in the meantime, you are being an active participant in your own success. You're not just sitting there and being like, well, I put up a post. Okay, I'm done. I should be successful. You know, are you reaching out to the people who interact on your post? Are you following up with the people you've talked to? Are you reaching out to new people? Are you adding to your network? And all of those things are what's going to tie into you ensuring that your success is something that's sustainable. So once once we all get to that place that, maybe we're able to leave our full-time job, maybe, whatever your goal happens to be, once you get to that point, you're going to have these skills that are going to keep you moving forward. And when you move yourself forward and you continue to grow and you continue to, add to your toolkit of skills that can help you in this business, failure is not something that is as possible. And you become more confident. And so you're better able to plan and figure out, what you need to do and see the level of effort that you need to put in order to maintain that success. So not to say that, because fears are weird. Like, we all know that fears kind of come out of nowhere sometimes, or like a lot of times they're something that, is from, something that we were exposed to in childhood, or, a product of our environment. But fear of being successful should never hold you back from trying to be successful. Does that make sense? Okay. So just because it's a possibility doesn't mean it's going to happen. And just because, just because it does happen, say you do get there and you do fail, like, you're going to be at a point where you have the skills and you've been doing this long enough that you're going to know how to fix it. You have to believe in yourself and believe that you can go out there and find the information that you need and find the resources that you need and make yourself successful again. Keep growing, keep building, keep pushing forward. Don't ever let something that you have, don't ever let something that you do have control over stop you from doing what you want to do, because we all have control over whether or not we're successful. And that's actually something that I've been hearing a lot in Sell or Be Sold that I'm listening to by Grant Cardone, is nobody else is responsible for essentially making a sale except for you. Like, you are responsible for communicating with people and reaching out to people and following up with people and presenting people with the right information, finding a way that it can help them. That's all on you. And it's not everything that we learn about is something that, so every skill that we build, that gives us another edge and another way to be successful. So, we're running out of time here, of course. We have like 3 minutes. But I guess what I just want to encourage everybody to do is get clear on what your success looks like and make that bigger than your fear of what happens if you fail. Because fear is like a feeling. Fear is a feeling of not being prepared, of not, knowing what's going to happen, of expecting the worst. And we all know that it's possible to be successful in this business because we know people who are successful. I know these people. I work with them. I've met them. They are real people. They're not just like somebody out there. And any one of us has the ability to do that if we work hard and we do what is necessary and what we know we need to do. So any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns?
I just gotta keep reminding, like, we all just need to keep reminding ourselves that nothing about this business is like finite, and that includes failure. So like, there is no game over. Like, if you failed today, that there's nothing that stops you from picking up and not failing tomorrow, you know?
Exactly. That's a great point.
Never fear success.
My husband's yelling, never fear success. He's been done.
Thank you, Steve.
Our husbands are just being wealths of knowledge tonight.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, our time is up. Thank you, Zoom. So I will get this posted, and I'll get last week's posted. Sorry. So everybody, and Amy, I'm going to talk to Melissa and everybody else. Have an awesome, fantastic week. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day with your families.
Bye.
Bye.